Traxxas Xmaxx, AWSOME Outcast, 2 8S beasts. Today we're going to take a look at each one and see who is the king of RCs. All right, everyone. So every time I make a video, I learn something that I probably could have done better. So I should have shown in the last video, like I'll show now, everything stock, Valinian. For as much as you can see, that's the factory motor, factory ESC. This one, maybe a slight disadvantage. I'm running the Traxxas batteries. These are only rated at 25C, but you know, that being said, the RC was designed to run on that type of battery. Come over here to the Outcast. See, good man, motor is huge. Look at the size of that. But yeah, that's a factory motor, factory ESC. I haven't done anything to this, and I'm running the Gens Ace. What do we got here? 8,000 milliamp 100C packs. A little more boost out of these than the Traxxas batteries. So I do want to take a moment to point out that on the 8S here, there is nothing for the balance leads that are here. They do have these clips here, which failed me the first time because it came out and I damaged it. So okay, so I just want to take a quick minute, and if you look here, there is nowhere for a balance lead to clip. I made a shorts video on the Big Rock, mentioned, hey, hidden secret and that, and I got some smart ass comments about, oh, that's been there for years. Oh, yeah, really? Then show me where it is, because obviously, one, it's not on every AWSOME, so I don't know why you make it sound like I'm dumb for pointing that out. We try to bring you fun, informative content, and some of you just go extreme, man. I know there's people that are really loyal to this. Like I had one guy mention, I mentioned on the Big Rock that like the bumper mounts were really thin, and I hope it didn't break like on this. And the guy said, oh, they know how to make bumpers, they've been doing it. Well, yeah, then why do I have that piece? I mean, I'm just honest. If something happens, I'm gonna tell you. I am not a sponsored channel. This I purchased 100% with my money. That one I purchased 100% with my money. I don't have a favorite AWSOME over Traxxas. I love my RCs, and I'd love to share that passion with you. And I make a video like this. The point of this video is to show you the differences between two very similar 8S powered vehicles, the biggest top of the line vehicles that Traxxas and AWSOME offer. Now, yet they had the XRT, which is very similar to Xmaxx lower down, and they had the Creighton. I think those two would be a better matchup. That's the reason I didn't bring the XRT to compare it to this. I think these two are kind of more the monster truck, backflip, wheelie beasts. So that's why I'm comparing these two. So what I'm going to do at the end of the video, we'll come back here and I'll discuss some pros and cons of each, what I feel to be totally my opinion of each model. We'll discuss that, and then what we're going to do here is we're just going to do some jumps. We're going to see how the suspensions of each truck absorb the bumps, how they the jumps, air control in the jumps, you know, how they land and all that stuff, and just how they jump. Then we'll do some maneuverability, see, you know, how each one maneuvers through here, the course. Then I'm going to do like last time. We'll do a speed run from one end of the field to the other to see how fast these go through the field. Now this is going to be tricky because both of these are like wheelie monsters, so it's going to be hard to do it, but we're going to go ahead and do a test, see, and that'll kind of show like how much power or like how much well the suspension handles the bumps and how everything works, and like how fast can it go through the dirt. Then we're going to take them through the dirt field over here and just see how the suspension works. I am going to try to bring you a few more camera angles here this time. I'm just really afraid of losing. I have a camera on order, which is going to help me bring you better content, but I have the little Insta360 Go, and if I put Velcro on it, I really won't have a hard time getting in the case. And this thing is small. I've actually lost this thing and struggled to find it. So I have a little something better coming, but I don't want to put a GoPro like down here where you can see the suspension, because it's going to be too low. So all right, let's first we're going to do the drop. We're going to drop it on the ground and see how the suspensions absorb being dropped. All right, let's start out with the wheelie test. Woohoo, man. All right, I'm gonna do some small jumps right here. The Outcast definitely seems a little nose heavy. Whoa. Well, except that. All right, let's just a little fun here. All right, Xmaxx wheelie test. Ooh. All right. Let's do a little jump. All right, let's just little speed rip through here. Oh! All right, so now before we wear out the batteries, we're gonna go over here and do the speed run, see how this does. All right, while I'm waiting for the GPS to get some kind of signal, I just want to say, you know, I do these videos kind of help out people that are new to the hobby, try to make a decision as to which way they want to go and all that. What am I doing here? Okay. So I just want to say that, you know, I know people watch other YouTubers, and the first thing a lot of people say is, oh man, I'm throwing in the Max 6, the Max 5 ESC, I'm throwing in this big motor, I'm throwing in a bigger servo. Guys, ladies, gentlemen, please don't let that deter you from getting into the hobby. What I'm showing you are two stock vehicles. As you can see, they're fast, they can wheelie, they can jump. You'll see more as we go on. Just remember, these are factory. This is on the factory Traxxas 2 25C batteries. And I know you'll see people, oh, they got the big basher packs and stuff like that. So the reason I had the basher packs for that is because I bought the XRT off of Earl Moorhead, and it already had the XT5 connectors, and I didn't have Spectrum batteries, so these were cheaper than the Spectrum, and I didn't need the telemetry because I wasn't running Spectrum electronics. So like I said, these things are fine out of the box, and at the end I'll tell you, give you a little history on the Xmaxx here. All right, so We are ready here. All right, so like I said, we're gonna start here at the grassy mound, and my cup disappeared. All right, so we're gonna go to the stick. Woo! That was a lot of brakes to get that stop. All right, let's see. All right, guys. 35 is what we got out of the Xmaxx. All right, we got it ready for the next run. If you're looking for this holder there, our friend over at RC Guy Garage 3D prints those. So here we go. I think I'm gonna redo that one. Let's give it one more shot, because that thing was kind of wheeling hard. Like, all right, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Damn. Whoa. All right. Ooh. Damn. Whoa. That reminded me of the sledge. I slammed the brakes, and man, she just tumble-wumbled. Boy, that thing really flew. Damn, that thing's way in there. Oh, jeez. Well, this is definitely a test for the GPS mount. Oh man, I'm sorry, truck. Wow. This thing is heavy. Oh God. All right. She got 40. All right. A little faster than the Xmaxx. All right. I said I might have been able to get the Xmaxx a little faster, but I'm not gonna keep running this over and over. I think 5 miles an hour is gonna be kind of hard to make up. You know, last time Traxxas was the winner. This time it's Arma, so I'm not gonna. I don't play favorites with them. I like them all. Now that being said, if there's an issue or something like that, I will bring it up. Like I said, this one, if you watch my first run video, I broke that front bumper mount, and I also bent an axle. And also the first run here, you know, we started getting this bulge in the hood, which I'm not happy about. So I will be honest and point out stuff I think. We got the onboard camera on. I'm doing this to film like how the suspension works and all that stuff. So I'm not going to go uber fast through here because I don't want to lose that camera, but it should be enough for you to get the idea about how well it works. Ah, still on there, good. All right, the part everybody really wants to see here, the jumps. Haha. Oh yeah, the Xmaxx does really good jumping. It's got a great air control. Ah, yeah. I might have forgot to mention, but both of these are running the stock pinion gears. I have not installed the speed gear in either one of these. These are as they came out of the box. The Outcast, she flies good. Oh, you know what I need to do? We need to do a backflip on both of them. Yeah. Unlike the big rock where you really got to stay on the throttle to keep the front end up. Oh, that's a little hard on the now I got my 360 camera down there that you've been watching, so I hope I don't break it trying to do a backflip. Yeah, she did it. All right. Now it's time. See if the Xmaxx can follow. Ooh. She kind of did it. Let's do another. I forgot to do the off-road test, but let's run it through here. Oh no. Cool, you know, the Xmaxx's height makes it a little funny in the turns, but man, she can turn. What you got to be careful of is when you pick up a tire, when you do wheelies or when you're making a hard turn and you start ballooning those tires, you got to be careful, because that's how you end up blowing the tires or ripping them off. But yeah, this thing does really, really well through here. I mean, look at it. It really soaks up the bumps very well. I mean, look at it. It's planted. It does really, really well in this kind of environment. I see the Outcast balloons the tires up really well too. But it being lower to the ground, it does take a turn a little bit better. It just feels a little bit more planted in that respect on a high-speed turn. But I feel the same way. This suspension really works well on this. It's doing a great job soaking up the bumps in that. I mean, look at it. The front end does seem to be gliding along, though, a little bit. It seems a little light on the front. If you look, just really, which maybe it just needs to tighten up the shocks a little bit more in the rear, but she is a beast. All right, let's move on to maneuverability. Let's see. Wow, this thing, it turns around pretty tight. Maneuvering it around here, just easily able to keep it into the track. Now Traxxas is always kind of known to have like a big turning radius, so yeah, look at this. Well, no, it's not, it's actually not doing too bad. Let's get it down here a little bit more. Yeah, it is a bit more for this thing to turn. You can even see it in the field when you're running wide open. The thing just needs a lot of space to get going. But you can maneuver around here just fine. So it's not terrible, but the Arma definitely has it in steering and turning, turning radius. I'll tell you, that's the signature move there, the Xmaxx, just the soft landings. Look at that, it's just especially when you try to go fast, it's wanting more and more space. Oops, I just took down their the survey marker. They're probably not gonna be too happy about that. Oh yeah, it just does it's got a lot tighter turning radius. Not that I think you would buy an not that I think you would buy an 8S to go on the track or anything like that, but maybe it is a consideration for you. So you can see this one definitely does take the turns a bit better. Alright, so I ran out of battery there at the park. I had to come home and finish it up. So let's talk about some pros and cons. Pro is they are Corgi approved. He loves to chase them. But that brings me to something else. A con for both of these: they're big. You're going to need space to keep them. They're heavy. You have to be responsible running these. I had an incident when I was camping down in Miami. I had some young girls running out, wanted to play with the Xmaxx. And I was like, girls, you really just don't get in the path of this thing. It's going really fast, it's heavy. And they didn't think that this thing could hurt them, and it can. And this thing's gonna be even worse because it is heavier. The Corgi. So be mindful. You can run these in your backyard. It's not impossible, but open fields, jump skate parks, things like that is what these things are built for. Just that to me is where you're going to get the most enjoyment, is just having a lot of room to run these. So let's talk about some pros and cons of each real quick. I'm just going to touch on a few things. Cons, I really dislike the clips. It's a pain. I can get the Xmaxx going so much faster than this, which leads me to, I guess it depends on how you look at it, but I don't like the Velcro straps. To some people, it's a pro. You can adapt way more batteries into this, and I can see that as a pro for some, but for me, I don't like it. I prefer like what the Traxxas have. Now, this is another. I don't like these caps being loose on a wire here, because when you're jumping, you're putting a lot of strain, and over time this is going to cause issues. And I know people will be like Spectrum, whatever, but these are Hobbywing ESCs. And maybe I'm nitpicking, I don't know, but I don't like this thing being loose, flopping around, because I see longevity term this thing having problems. And unfortunately, this vehicle here doesn't really lend itself to wire tying itself somewhere. Now, other con is weak front bumper mount. I broke that first time out, and I've experienced, I heard other people experience like the half shafts bending on here. And another con is parts on ARMA are more money. Now, pros, it looks amazing. They did a really good job with all these little metal parts here, trying to reinforce and make this thing better. The shocks, these towers, all this anodized parts looks absolutely amazing. These big hexes, everything. And then the body just looks absolutely amazing as well. I like the tires and stuff like that. It's a really good system. What I like too is they give you the skid plates up here. And one really big pro, anything that's Horizon Hobby, which is like Lowe's and ARMA and stuff like that, 2-year warranty on everything. So the Xmaxx, the biggest pro and con is the body. The clipless system is ingenious. It is great. The con is it pops off easily. A major con with this one is it is extremely weak back here. You will experience cracking back here, bending. It's just something that's just, Traxxas should have done a better job. They should have made this thing the whole length of the body and reinforced it. Hopefully, maybe they'll revise this thing. I'd like to see a clipless system like what's on like the XRT, so it'll lock into place a little bit better. I even put this little mount back here to try to help support this body from breaking. So like I said, the body is the biggest pro and con, and one of the big cons with the body too is this roof mount, the skid plate, you have to buy and install. That's a joke. Traxxas flagship machine here, that should not be an option. So other than that, I think pros, it's a simplistic design. It's easy to work on for the most part. These shocks are absolutely amazing. This thing is so plush in the jumps. I think that's what really helped this thing be so successful, is its durability, the inexpensive parts to get stuff for here. Like I said, it's durable, inexpensive to fix if you do break anything, and easy to work on, fairly easy to work on. I do like the double A-arm design for like the rear and that, front and rear. I think it's a little sturdier. I like that better. Cons, Traxxas connectors, you're kind of stuck using Traxxas only batteries, but you're not totally stuck. You can cut these off and put whatever you want. So this, again, the battery tray could be a pro or a con, how you look at it. I like this battery system. I can get this truck up and running so much faster than this. Drop in a battery, snap it in, click it, turn it on, put this body on, and boom, done. Now, I guess that would be another con, is if you are using the Traxxas batteries, look, 25C, they do seem a little weak. I don't think it's the ESC, I don't think it's any of the other stuff in here. The batteries, not the punchiest things in the world. Like I said, these things do great factory electronics in both of them. This thing I've had like a year and a half. Motor, fans, ESC, everything's doing good. Factory servo, all that's held up pretty good. like I mentioned before, I haven't broken anything in here. I had a wheel bearing because some string got caught up in here, so I really can't blame that. And then I believe it was this shock here I had to rebuild because it was leaking oil. But other than that, it's been a rock solid RC. Except the body, I do wish that was a little bit better, better reinforced through here, so you wouldn't have this bending problem, because these bodies are not cheap. So like I said in the beginning, I'm not going to pick a winner. I filmed the video to help mostly those of you that really don't have any experience in RC and are looking and want a fair comparison between the two out of the box. You know, I don't want to talk about what you can make them, adding this ESC, that ESC, this gearing, that. What do you get out of the box performance wise? Because these things are already expensive, $1,000. So what are you getting out of the box, and what can you expect for it? So to me, I think the best thing is that you can watch how one absorbs the bumps versus the other, see how they jump, and make a comparison. You know, I just try to point out some of the pros and cons, like the Traxxas, the battery clips. You're kind of stuck with that unless you solder new ones on. This one's a little more flexible because you can get tons of battery with EC5 connectors. So, you know, look at both of them. Cheaper parts, more expensive parts, really durable. This, you know, durable, but it you know, has broken a few things, way more than what this has. So, but that's my experience. And you know, I love both RCs. They're mine. I pay for them. I'm not sponsored by anybody, so I'm not, have no reason to push one over the other. I think either one you get, you're gonna have a great time, have fun with it. This one is considerably heavier than this, so if you're like me, have a bad back, that might play into it. But they are both, man, fantastic RCs. They really are. I don't think you're going to go wrong either way, either one that you pick. Oh, I hope you found this informative. You got something out of it. If you're looking at one, get this. And if these things are out of your price point, people, please, you don't have to spend this much money to have fun. I have like a 3S Rustler by Traxxas. That's a blast. I have a couple of road RCs by Arma. They're fun. So maybe you want road, maybe you want off-road. You know, there's a whole variety of cars in different price points. Don't let this keep you out of the hobby because you're dead set on the Xmaxx. Get something smaller. Get the Max. Get the 4S Outcast or a Creighton, something like that. So don't let the big boys keep you from getting into the hobby and enjoying, because this is what you want. You're gonna have fun with any of them. So hope you got some good pointers. You enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Hope you subscribe, and see you on the next one.